Hello, small dog. I'm gonna miss you while I'm gone. You be good, okay?
I am so ridiculously stoked for this adventure. Why? Because I didn't have to pack a million things for it. Thanks to the rooftop tent, which, of course, you'll see later on in this video. But you really need to see just how big of an impact it's had on camping for me.
So, I basically just have a bag of clothes, a backpack, a pillow, tripod, and, if YouTube asks, pepper spray. I'm bringing my pepper spray. But this is it, because the tent is already packed, and this is just a quick overnight trip, so I'm actually not even bringing any food with me. Well, I'll probably get something on the way out of town, but I'm not cooking tonight.
Yep, that's right. I'm on my way up to Johnson City, Tennessee, making the trip that I normally do every other week to go see my beloved fiance, Lakin. But this time, I'm going to be making a stop along the Georgia Traverse overnight, and it should be really cool. And it should give me a really good chance to try out the new rooftop tent. So, let's load up the car. Well, all 8 things I'm bringing with me, and let's go. I identified this particular overlook on the map, and you ever pick something out to go look at and then you're a little disappointed when you get there? Well, this is kind of one of those places. I mean, it's beautiful and all, but I'm always a little disappointed when an overlook is as overgrown as this one is. I mean, there's really hardly any view here to see.
Alright, we just stopped here. This is a road that's marked on Gaia as being a high clearance road and eventually gets distinguished as being a four-wheel drive road, so I'm guessing that this probably gets pretty technical. I personally am not really interested in driving down here, mainly because of this tree that's just hanging on by a limb. I'd hate to go down here, find a campsite, and then come out in the morning only to find that I'm trapped.
Normally, I try to avoid getting into technical situations if I'm all by myself. At least having just another person to ride along with me is helpful in case I need a hand with something or if I need somebody to just spot me. So, not going to get myself into this mess right now. But the Sequoia looks good. Wow, I almost fell. It's so typical I say that I'm trying to avoid getting into a technical situation because I'm all alone, but here I am. We got quite a bit of an obstacle, I'm not gonna lie to you, and it's starting to get late. I really want to make it to camp soon, but we got this one spot. It's not too terribly rutted out. I've seen much worse than this, but still, it's probably going to take a little more
right foot than I really want to give it, seeing as how there's so much mud. But anyway, I think I can do it. We're gonna give it a go. Hopefully it's not gonna get much worse than this. Alright, I was absolutely right. It took a lot of skinny pedal, but got it done. Here it is from the other side. Really, really deep. And if there's one thing I learned in this, that is that I really need a little more flex in the rear end of the Sequoia and really need to get A-track working again, or get a locker in the rear. That would have made this a lot easier. Well, the Sequoia just had to really prove its chops now. Man, I have gotten myself into a lot more than I bargained for. I don't think it's going to be real easy to see this on camera, but these rocks are huge. These rocks are absolutely huge. I finally figured out where I am. I am on Charlie's Creek, the section of the Georgia Traverse that at this point, it's got to be the most technically challenging now that Trey Mountain is shut down. But man, this is way, way more technical than anything I read on the reports about this trail. I probably should have paid better attention as to where I was going, because I really didn't want to get caught in this right as I'm trying to find a campsite. I still have, I'd say, an hour of daylight left. But at this point, I'm going to take the first campsite I can find. Man, this was tricky right here. This rock right here. I mean, it probably just looks like it's completely flat on camera, but it was really challenging. And it's all wet and muddy too. Man, the Sequoia really had to work hard.
Good morning. Last night I eventually had to stop recording simply because it was just going to take me way too long to get through that trail and film at the same time. That trail turned out to be so much more than I was bargaining for last night. Not that the trail was more than the Sequoia or I was capable of handling. It was just a lot to do right at dusk. I didn't have an extra set of eyes to help me spot. Thankfully, there were some other people out on the trail, so if I did get into a sticky situation, somebody would have been able to help me out. Ran into a lot of people driving Jeeps. Jeeps seem to be the common choice of vehicle in Georgia, but everybody was really nice, and the Sequoia did did what she was supposed to do. At the very end, we ended up crossing the Tallulah River. That is well known as being easily the largest water crossing on the Georgia Traverse. Once again, at that time of day, it was just too difficult for me to film and to drive through it all at the same time. But after Lakin and I get married about a month from now, our plan is to do a large section of the Georgia Traverse, and we're definitely going to include Charlie's Creek again, just because it was so exciting. We'll make sure we get some better footage of it at that time. But anyway, this is the campsite I found late last night. It took me a long time to find it, I'm not gonna lie. I think it was probably pretty close to, I'd say probably about 9 o'clock before I found it. It's not a great campsite. It's pretty good, I guess. There's like a rock wall over here, which is kind of cool. What wasn't cool was our neighbors. I don't know if they can hear me now, but there's another campsite right on the other side of the trail over here, and they came in at like 12:30 and made a ton of noise. But anyway, it all turned out okay. So now I don't have any breakfast to make, so really the only thing for me to do now is to just pack up the tent and get out of here. My preliminary report on the Yakima Skyrise tent is very positive. It was really comfy last night. Had all my sheets laid out, my Batman pillowcase on a comfy pillow. It was really good. It also did rain a considerable amount last night and stayed perfectly dry. Well, only took me about, I'd say, 10 minutes to pack up everything. Loving the rooftop tent so far. But anyway, that's it for this adventure. Thanks for coming along for the ride, and we'll see you in the next one.